On this video, I'm going to walk you through the steps on preparing for your next video content recording day, whether you're shooting content for your brand, your personal brand, your podcast, your YouTube channel, social media stuff, whatever it is. I'm going to walk you through the exact steps that I take myself and clients through in order to make sure it's an efficient, effective, and it's just a kick-ass recording day. Now, assuming that you are recording content for your business purposes, not just a creator, I work with businesses 100%, and most of them being real estate investors in some way, shape, or form. But the practices are kind of the same regardless of what you do in business. So because of that, because you're running a business, or maybe you're maintaining it, maybe you're the marketing director and you're having to rally up the people that are going to be on video, you might have some issues with creating an efficient video day. So what I mean by video day is that you're sitting down, recording your content, and probably batching it. So that's going to be the number one thing that I'm going to bring to the table here is batching your content is so important when you're recording for consistent purposes. And I won't get into this today, but one of the main contributors to having some sort of success in your marketing videos, whether that's for your podcast, your YouTube channel, or your social media stuff, is by staying consistent for the long haul. So if you're committed to putting out one podcast episode a week, you better be executing that. Or if you're putting out one YouTube video a week or two YouTube videos weekly, then you should be doing that. And if you're not, and if you stumble up and maybe one week you miss it, or maybe one week you do one, or maybe you skip it for a month, then that is going to hurt your reach as you try to build your channel and build your reach and your audience, because consistency is such a big factor in this. And if you're not batching your content, this could eliminate that factor for you in your journey of creating content. So that's the number one thing we're trying to accomplish here, is just staying consistent. So one of the things that you really have to understand is your capacity. You hear me talk about this a lot if you watch my videos, is making sure that whatever you commit to fits your actual capacity, meaning your schedule and however much you can do. If you're a family man, you got kids, and if you run 3 businesses, and if you do karate at the end of the day, and you're going to jiu-jitsu, you go to the gym in the middle of the day, whatever it is, you may have a jam-packed day, so it's unrealistic for you to think that you might be able to record 5 to 10 hours a week of content, because it's just not realistic and conducive to the schedule that you have. Obviously, you, more than anybody, knows what's on your plate when it comes to your scheduling, so you have to work around that. Maybe there's one Monday a month that you absolutely have nothing on your calendar, and that's your content recording day. Schedule that out and make sure that is locked in on your calendar, and you don't do anything else over that. And that's a non-negotiable, unless you're sick and on your deathbed, but that's a non-negotiable item on your calendar to make sure you stay consistent. And it's a bite-sized piece, because it's only taking one day out of your entire month to record content. So the concept of batching is going to be the most important and kind of the spearhead of this whole idea that I'm going to be giving you and these tips that I give you ultimately. So I'm going to kind of go through my checklist of what to have prepared after you have nailed down what your recording day is. Now, let's just say, for example, like you have that locked in and you know exactly when that is, you figure that out. Now, what's the next step? Well, I would say at least either the day before or the morning of, just so it's fresh on your mind. Now we're going to start working on the actual creation of the content itself, the ideation phase of it. Now, before that, let's just assume you have somebody that's going to be recording the content for you, or you're setting it all up yourself, and you know exactly what you need to do, where you're going to be filming the content, that sort of thing. That's some of the prep work that goes into it. We need to establish how many videos we're doing, the time that we're dedicating. Is it going to be 9 to 12 or 9 to 5? Is it going to be 12 to 5? We need to make sure we have all that straightened out, so we walk in, don't screw around, we know exactly what we're doing, and then you get underway. After that, you need to make sure you're understanding who's recording the content. So are you doing everything yourself and you got to set everything up? Well, you need to make sure you give yourself time for that. Do you have somebody coming in? Like, for example, I actually go on site with people. I travel to people to actually record content with them. So I did this recently where I traveled out to Ohio, spent 2 days with the client, and filmed all day, both of those days, and they knew when I was coming out. So I had all the gear with me. I prepped them for everything, and that's ultimately what I'm walking you through, by the way, is how we prepped them for that. But I walked them through everything on what was going on, and I showed up with the camera gear and all that. If you have somebody like that that's doing that, just make sure that they're squared away on where they're meeting up with you and that sort of thing. Then next, of course, is where are you filming the content? Are you filming it in your office? Are you renting an Airbnb that's furnished that you can film in? Are you filming it at your house? Have all that locked in ahead of time so you're not guessing where you're doing it. And especially if you are doing it yourself, just make sure you know exactly where you're going to be filming. Surprisingly, all these things can be really things that can derail your day if you're going to be going to record content. and as much as the clothes that you're going to be recording with. So I actually am batching today. So I have a bunch of clothes and a bunch of hats sitting over here that I'm swapping in between the videos so that I can get the looks to look a little bit different. It's not extremely important, but it is a factor when I'm recording my content, so it doesn't all look the same, right? And I'm thinking ahead of time too, is I'm using these videos chopped from social media content as well. So on my social media feed, I don't want all 9 of my videos on the grid to be me wearing this gray hat and this white shirt. I need it to look a little bit different. Now we're going to be creating the topics themselves. Now I have another video on how to actually create these in full. Today I'm going to be kind of skimming over that. But what you're going to be doing is creating the topics. Now, everybody has their own methods. I'm going to advise you on the way that I do it with clients when I'm going to shoot videos on site with them. And you can kind of take and piece it together however you want. So what I do is open your favorite AI tool, whether that's Gemini, Grok, or ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT. I'm a big proponent of that. What I'll do is I'll open up ChatGPT, and then I take a few prompts that I have kind of queued up, and I say, I need 50, 100, 25, whatever your number is on video topics that you need, video topics specifically geared towards, and then maybe plug your audience in. If you have, and what I like to do is I like to upload kind of like a spread. I have a questionnaire that I have my clients fill out, and it explains who their audience is, where they're driving them to, what services they have in full, and I upload that to ChatGPT along with this prompt. And then I go to their website, and then I might go to some of their competitors' websites, copy their links, and then paste it into the prompt and give as much context to ChatGPT of who I am and my expertise is, upload that to ChatGPT and say, I want to create 25 video topics around my area of expertise for social media content or for YouTube content or for podcast content. I like to hit the deep research button because then it's going to dig even deeper to everything. It takes a little bit more time, but hit that button, hit send. And then it's going to list you out all the topics that you have. From there, you can either take those word for word and create topics just off that, or you can go in and pick and choose whichever ones you want. You could tell ChatGPT, all right, I want 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, and 12. And then it's going to, put all that together for you. Then what I like to do from there is to ask it to give me contextual bullet points for each one of those. Now, I have a whole other video on the difference between scripting and that sort of thing. I don't script videos, and I don't allow clients to script videos. The main reason why is because people typically can't read scripts and look at a camera and remain a human being. So I'd want to pull that option away from them. So that being said, what I typically will do is I will have them create outlines and tell ChatGPT, I need outlines for each one of these topics that I selected that have 3 to 5 bullet points in them, and I need a hook as well. So the reason why I wanted to have a hook is because the first few words that come out of my mouth when I start a video are the most important words. So when I started this video, I started with a hook. I don't remember what it was, but I started with a hook because I have it here in my notes, and I said exactly what it was word for word. And that's how I started the video, paused, and I started getting into it. Now from there, I can break and take pauses in between each of those bullet points, and then editing, post-production editing, they're going to clean it all up. So after you've created your outline, now you have that ready to go. Cue that up and then start recording your content. Now, what I like to do on my content recording days is if I'm with a client, obviously I'm recording it into my camera's SD card. I'm going to take that content, upload it to a drive folder, then feed it to my editor. But what I do with my content is to make things easier from downloading process is I actually plug my camera into with a Cam Link. It's an Elgato Cam Link device that plugs into my laptop. I open Riverside, and then I record all my videos into Riverside into one studio that's titled YouTube Solo Videos. Then my editor has access to Riverside, just jumps in there and then downloads the content from there and gets it going. And I title the projects whatever I want the video topic to be and that sort of thing. That's the easiest process that I found to make it work. I do this with clients every once in a while too. Like if I have a client that's recording a podcast and I'm batching with them, like I'm there with them, I'm recording the podcast, I'll just record it straight to Riverside like that because it's 10 times easier for anybody to get into it, and it's going to retain maximum image quality as well without losing any kind of, like, you're going to have pixelations like a Zoom video and stuff like that. These are the things that you really need to be prepared with when you're recording your content. Then from there, just push through as much as you can. You might get tired, you might get exhausted, but make sure you have some tea with you or some water with you, and then stay hydrated, because that will make a difference as you're recording the content as well. You don't want to get burned out and ultimately like stop short of the amount of content you need to record, because then at some point you're going to need to come back to it. So at the end of the day, what does this all accomplish? Consistency. We want to make sure we have consistency on our content, which is one of the number one important pieces of putting out social media, podcast, YouTube content. So hopefully I gave you some pointers today on how to tee up yourself for success for your next video recording day. If you have any questions or you need any further insight, or maybe you do something a little bit different than I do and you want to lay your comments down below and let me know, go ahead and drop a comment down below. And if you did like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.